Today on The Flush, we're hunting pheasants where the birds don't exist in the minds of most hunters. Yes, that means we're flushing ringnecks in the Panhandle of Texas. The Panhandle? Serious? Hey, you'll be amazed.
Rooster, good bird!
The Flush, presented by Federal Premium Ammunition and Pheasants Forever. It's been said that Texas, you know, where everything is bigger than anywhere else, is mostly a state of mind. So, are these Texas pheasant hunters out of their mind? I mean, Texas, a pheasant hunting state? Really? Well, yes, really.
Oh, gosh!
Need more proof?
Yep, points.
How about a Texas hen? Okay, partner. These are wild ringnecks, not game farm birds, thriving in a place called the Texas Panhandle, that chunk of land that juts north into Oklahoma. It's also the mecca of Texas ringneck hunting. But, well, don't take my word for it.
I need three main blockers down on the end.
Meet Carson Jones, pheasant addict who grew up in the Panhandle.
One more down on the hard corner. This had been a tradition in our family. I remember coming back in the 80s, and then this tradition of what is today, this hunting trip, started in 93 with a couple friends from college. Late 90s, early 2000s, it started growing to a couple more, probably a half dozen or so, and then really blew up in probably about 2005, where it grew to this 12-person militia.
Indeed, the militia of Texas pheasant diehards are passionate about ringnecks and pheasant dogs.
The group that we have right now has been around for easily the last 5 years, so they really know the program.
And Carson is the field general.
We'll head up there, we'll walk this and that patch. Do I get excited? Yeah. More nervous than anything. I just want everybody to have fun and shoot as many birds as they can.
Our first walk of the day is underway, shortly after dawn.
This is my first Texas adventure for pheasants. I mean, first of all, most people don't think there are pheasants in Texas. They're quail, hunted quail in Texas. About pheasants, we're gonna find out in about 5 minutes.
Ron, do you want in the middle? Mike, slow up a little bit. There's one. First rooster of the day, or whatever that is. Watch this, that one that got up's gonna be the only one that got in here.
Maybe, but maybe not. Bird hunters are always optimistic, of course. Well, then Colby went on point.
Right there, right there.
Got a point right there.
Hit it, rooster!
Gosh.
That was my fault.
With sun in your eyes, who knew it was a hen?
I heard somebody say hen.
That was
You say
me.
hen?
Yeah, I called
I'm yelling
hen.
rooster at the time. Like,
Yeah, I called the hen call.
No problem, who hasn't? But our first walk, turns out, wasn't much to brag about, not even in Texas.
So you had 49 pheasants, one opener, and then one the next year?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was, yeah,
Yeah.
that was my first time pheasant hunting.
Ah, yes, that's pheasant hunting. Been there, done that. Coming up, More pheasant hunting in the Texas Panhandle where, as they say, don't mess with Texas. If you hang around and blaze orange with a scattergun long enough, something good is about to happen.
Good job, Callie. Good dog. There we go.
The Flush is brought to you by Federal Premium Ammunition. Every shot counts. Walton's, everything but the meats. Aluma Trailers. Pike Gear. And by Nutrisource. In the Panhandle of Texas, cotton fields are big, oil is big, and irrigation brings water to farm crops in an arid land where moisture is scarce. Oddly, it's a beneficial combination for ringneck pheasants, as the field pivot corners grow lush with prairie nesting cover. Bird populations are on the rebound today in the Panhandle, but it takes another Carson game plan to find them.
I need 7 guys. Some people would make fun of me when I first introduced and brought out this whiteboard. They'd call me coach, and yeah.
Does this look like a Dallas Cowboys play that you're going to put out there?
The blockers who are blocking this corner right here is literally right there. You're going out and around.
The plan was to push birds toward blockers who guarded one side of the huge grass triangle.
I don't know if it was 10, 15 shots went out there. I think maybe I got him, but then there were about 5 of us yelling, I got him. That bird, went so far, but he's down and he's in the bag.
I've been hunting on opening day of pheasant season probably since I was, I don't know, 6th, 7th grade. It doesn't ever stop amazing you when a bird flies up. I just think it's neat that we have pheasant in the Texas Panhandle and that people get to come up. It takes a certain person to appreciate this country out here, and so showing those little things is kind of neat to guys from not around here.
Our bird drives sometimes rousted other critters. Meanwhile, our canine companions kept a nose for birds. Another bird in the bag, time also for another plan.
We're gonna spread out right here, and we're gonna push this tailwater pit.
It was a patch of grass, the size of a postage stamp. Turns out, the nothing spot held a few feathered surprises.
Oh, getting out of there.
As the day wore on, we began to understand that grass, next to picked corn or sorghum, was a birdie combination.
Woo! There goes a rooster. Coming at you. Rooster. That's where the blockers need to be. Rooster. Dead bird. Hit. Oh, rooster. Good Lord. Look at y'all's hand. Here we go.
Roosters!
Rooster! Dead bird! You think he's right in there somewhere? Good job, Callie. Good dog. There we go. Here you go. Cut it out.
Time to meet a birdie Drothar with a very unusual name, Gary.
Gary P. Named for Gary P. Nunn. He is a country singer, mostly just known in Texas.
Gary is a 4.5-year-old male with lots of good habits, but one bad one.
Porcupines. Loves them. Loves or hates them. I can't tell the difference.
Little did we know Gary's bad habit appeared later. Coming up, the Texas Panhandle may be the best kept secret in the world of bird hunting. More proof when we return. The Flush is brought to you by Benelli, Carlson's Choke Tubes, the Shooter's Choice, Elk Mound Seed, Ruffland Kennels, and by Kansas Department of Wildlife Parks and Tourism. This segment of The Flush is brought to you by North Dakota Tourism. Start your journey at NorthDakotaLegendary.com. It's late autumn on a Friday night in Texas. And that means one thing: football. The Greyhounds from the small town of Grover, Texas, are in a playoff game against the Clarendon Broncos. In Texas high schools, this is big-time football. Cheerleaders cheer, the band plays, and Groover's quarterback shows off his passing arm. Meanwhile, back in Groover on the same Friday night, a gathering of bird hunters are excited about a different game. The Texas pheasant season is set to kick off at dawn Saturday. Welcome to the house that time forgot. Carson Jones' grandparents once lived here.
Once my grandmother passed away, in 2003, nothing was changed in the house. It is stayed exactly the same.
Now every autumn, the home that time forgot is turned into pheasant opener headquarters for Carson and his buddies.
And then it changes a little bit with about 4 to 5 air mattresses in the big living room and a whole bunch more men walking around the house. You certainly are not going to go away hungry on this trip.
I've been coming here 12 or 13 years. Wouldn't miss it for the world anymore.
I've enjoyed every minute of it. You've seen some of the effort that I've put into it, and chasing, herding cats, as we've called it.
Instead of cats, it's herding hunters.
I mean, they went and set the blockers on the north side of the creek line. This is the road that we're on right now. We're going down to the southwest corner. Blockers here, here, here.
Like good soldiers, the hunting ploy unfolds and hunting the Panhandle heats up.
Well, the dog is acting like something's ahead of us, but
Dead bird.
Good job, man. Good job. The big old rooster come out of there, and I said, "Oh, that's Carson's." And one shot and bingo.
Yeah.
Huh?
Shoot him dead for you.
You do that often?
I try to.
Time to meet another canine hero in the pheasant wars, Colby.
Started on pheasants her first year. She's been coming out here every single year. Strong drive, really strong drive. Love to chase birds. You know, sometimes she doesn't want to wait on you. So, gets a little impatient. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, nice shot. There he is.
Rooster!
Rooster!
Oh.
Up next, we wake up to a surprise in the Panhandle. Somebody has an encounter with a porcupine, and more birds leap into the frosty air. Stay with us.
Pheasants Forever's mission is to protect and restore wildlife habitat. Without habitat, we don't have wildlife, and we don't have places to hunt. Without you, Pheasants Forever has one less voice in their fight for conservation. Join Pheasants Forever today to help us create healthy habitat, cleaner water, and abundant wildlife. Sign up at this web address and you'll receive a one-year subscription to Pheasants Forever Journal, plus his signature series Pheasants Forever Duffel Bag. Your $35 will make a difference today that will last forever.
A new morning brings a rare sight, a skip of snow on our hunting trucks, proving once again weather in the Panhandle is unpredictable.
Well, it's the Panhandle. Just wait a second and it'll change. It's gonna warm up, and all this fine snow that we got last night is gonna go away.
Carson and Brock have come up with a new plan, a new field, and new anticipation.
I would have a guy right here, I'd have a guy right here, a guy right here, here, and probably here like that.
I'm gonna put Ron, Dr. Bennett, and I'll come down here.
On this drive, Carson is guarding the right flank while I post near the corner.
Ooh, did you see that dog lock up?
Ah, the reason Gary, the dog, stopped was, shall we say, a little encounter with a porcupine. Brock had said Gary loves to sniff out porcupines.
Woo.
Yeah,
Oh, Lord.
it's not as bad as it's been.
God. Do they ever learn to leave him alone?
No, and he doesn't make any noise when he does it. Like, he doesn't bark, he doesn't growl, he just sits there and tears into him.
Being a veterinarian, Brock said he'd have the dog quill-free after a quick trip to his vet clinic.
He retrieved 2 birds after pointing and flushing 1 porcupine.
Amazing. Also amazing was my experience rousting birds in the Panhandle. Call me a believer now. This corner of the ringnecks world is a sleeper with potential. It's a goal Carson and his friends have worked hard to accomplish.
Well, quite a few birds in there. Go.
We worked with Pheasants Forever when we were establishing that grass. 2015, a CRP program came out for establishing bob white cover. We subscribed 6 corners, which range anywhere from about 35 to 40 acres.
I thought it's good. We got 16 birds yesterday. How many guys? 15 guys? I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to have more, but kind of thankful after you have years where you shoot one on opener.
There was one bird drive that the Texas boys may never forget. It kind of happened like this.
Thank you. It's a beauty. I was out retrieving the first one. I found it, and then this guy flew by. So yeah, I made 2, put on a little a shooting demonstration for these Texas boys, what I did. What? Well, they got thin skins, don't they?
Wait, I forgot. Don't mess with Texas. Sorry, boys.